How are things in the bedroom? Have you ever used pornography in your life?
Pornography.
Do you at all use any sex toys? Were there ways that you would experiment sexually? Hello and welcome. Today I'm in the leafy town of Frome, where I'm going to be speaking to the general public about love, relationships and sex. Follow me. And how do you keep it fresh and alive in the bedroom physically, and how is that for you?
It's actually, I've got to say that it's improved since the beginning. It gets better and better all the time.
And how do you actually meet new people? Do you tend to go onto the dating apps?
100% for dating apps. The thing I really like about it is the clarity that it gives you. I feel like when you're talking with someone on a dating app, there is a mutual understanding about what's going on. And for someone like me, I just really appreciate how straightforward that is.
And what about sex toys? Have you ever used any sex toys in your married life?
Don't really need them.
Great. So you already have the connection, the playfulness, and you just don't feel a sense for sex toys at all?
I don't need a surrogate. I've got a really excellent Willie at my disposal.
Am I being really honest on this?
Please, we love honesty.
We do use toys.
Great.
Oh my god, this is...
So the reason why we're asking this, and just to perhaps support you to share even more, is we want to let these conversations come out more into the open, because they're not talked about. We feel embarrassed, we feel shame around them, and we believe that these are perfectly wonderful things to experiment with and great conversations to have. So wherever you feel comfortable in sharing, you know, what kind of toys do you use?
Oh my god.
And is there any ways that you perk it up in the bedroom physically?
No, we're pretty boring. Sorry.
That's okay. Well, how do you define boring?
Ordinary. Yeah.
Missionary position.
Well, yeah, if that's what you want to say, yes.
Do you at all use any sex toys?
Yes, we use it's called a magic wand. It's like a sort of silicone massage wand, and it's amazing for relaxation, actually. And then, I mean, the climax is not really the goal, but mainly we use it for sort of relaxation and play.
At any point in your life, have you enjoyed using sex toys in any capacity? No. But something that is really a great topic of conversation, which is pornography. Mm-hmm. Have you ever used pornography in your life?
I don't find pornography much fun. I prefer something real.
And what would be more real for you?
A real person, not somebody who's been done up and pumped up with silicone.
Pornography. It's like anything in your life that you might find some short-term joy from, but you know is secretly quite bad for you. I mean, I feel the same way about the sugar I put in my coffee in the morning. You know, I'm like, I wake up and I want it in there, but I also know it's not a good idea. So I'm not going to give you any details, but you can probably guess, like most men, what my relationship to pornography is by judging what I've said about sugar. Got to be real careful.
And if you ever felt maybe you might watch pornography, do you have a sense of a category that you might search for?
Actually, no. Don't forget, I come from Denmark. I've worked in a porno shop. Do I need any more? No. In fact, in a porno supermarket, if you'd like to know.
I'm wondering, what's your relationship to pornography?
I don't personally like pornography, particularly pornography that objectifies women. I think the problem that I have with pornography, particularly for men, is it is a threshold thing of this sort of, once you've watched it, a threshold gets met and then you need to meet another threshold in order to get the same level of arousal or excitement. And moving those thresholds sort of works a little bit like feeding a part of the brain with dopamine that then sort of slightly triggers, you know, a more and more addictive nature to it. I'm interested in porn if there was a more realistic and boundaried way of putting it out there.
I think it's crude and demoralizing, really, finally. I don't see a lot of positive in pornography. But maybe I'm just getting old.
I think you have a very valid point there. I would love to know In these today's times, there's a lot of people that use pornography.
Yeah.
I'd love to know, what are your thoughts on pornography?
Well, I suppose up to a point if they want to use it. It's up to, it depends what kind, I suppose. A lot of it's pretty foul, but...
What is your view on pornography?
It's not something I ever watch. I know that he does. I've caught him a couple of times.
How does that go down when you catch him?
It was really interesting, actually. I caught him he was in his car watching it in the drive at like 5 p.m. after work, and he was really embarrassed.
And if you were to use pornography yourself, what might you look for?
Gosh. Oh, I don't know. Not so much these days, I must admit.
And when you did you have a particular style that you enjoyed?
I suppose it'd probably be soft, if anything.
I'm absolutely with you there. I also would enjoy that if I was to search. So my next question is, when you are on these pornography sites...
Oh my word, what is going on here? Okay.
What is the word that you might type into the search bar?
I don't really want to go that deep into what exactly I'm doing in terms of pornography. I'm willing to say that it's a problem for most men, and I am one of the men. Is that okay?
That is absolutely great. And
Thank you, Mrs. A.
one final question. Let's just take a nice deep breath together.
Oh man, Thursday. This happens on a Thursday.
This happens on a Thursday. This can happen any day, my darling. So my final question is, do you see a possibility that this is something that you don't want to keep doing in your life, and maybe you do want to change it? And if you did, how might you then feel, and maybe what else would you get done in a day?
Well, the last question implies that I might be spending all of my time doing that, which is not the case. But yeah, I think all men need to be honest about things that we do in our lives that make us feel maybe a little bit ashamed, or that we know are changing our perceptions. And there's lots of research that now shows that we are changing the neurological systems and patterns in our brains, and we don't want to do that. Our human brains are made to function in a certain way, especially in terms of the joy that you can get from people and relationships. So I think like most guys, like to deal with certain compulsive thoughts that I have and be able to improve that and to become, I think, maybe a little bit more human.
Do you feel like pornography perhaps affects, for some people, maybe not for you both, but the intimacy that people experience, maybe that it creates an idea of what romanticness is, what sexuality is?
Yeah, I think to a certain extent it does, especially when you're younger, perhaps, when you first start having sex. I think you might have this kind of image of what it's supposed to be like, but I think as you get older, you kind of let that go, hopefully.
Sure. If you went out on a whim and you decided that you might want to look at pornography yourself, is there a category that you might look for and put into the search bar?
I mean, 100% every time it's girl eating girl pussy. Like, there's just no way I don't want to look at a big cock. One'll do. And normally it's flaccid and hanging out of a t-shirt with a pair of Birkenstocks. Just saying.
I'm completely with you there. I am also a big fan of lesbian porn.
I hate to categorise it as lesbian, but yes.
Okay, muff eating.
Just general muff diving.
Yeah, love a bit of muff diving.
Be safe and comfortable and only have sex when you want to.
Yes, consent is key.
Consent is key.
Thank you for tuning in and watching. I hope this has been an enriching experience for you. Tune in next week when I'll be taking to the streets and doing some matchmaking. Back to the studio.